Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora here on Facebook Live. And I'm very happy to be here with you right now as messages roll in and different things are going on right here. Very excited to be here with you and so much to talk about. Obviously, we got some Wake Up Call love and we got the NFL. We have the final four teams that are in this year's NFL playoffs, the final four version of the NFL, and it's the Final Four that I called. This is the Final Four that I said. Going into this thing, I thought that Minnesota had a good shot, right? So I was looking at the matchups, and I went back to it all, and I didn't think Atlanta. I didn't think the Rams. Philadelphia, if they had Carson Wentz, but I probably still picked Minnesota. So I was going back and forth with a lot of different things, and ultimately I felt good about Minnesota. And I felt good about Philadelphia doing enough to get there, but not to beat Minnesota. Then on the other side, as crazy as you might want to call it, I was thinking Jacksonville. And, of course, the New England Patriots. I thought if Jacksonville got past the Steelers, that was the only other team that you could really think of. So it happens, and it's exactly what we get here in the playoffs, which is my Final Four. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the Minnesota Vikings, the New England Patriots, and the Philadelphia Eagles. This is who is inside of the playoffs. Dan said, hi, hey, what's up, man? So with the NFL coverage, before we go anywhere with this, I want to say, by the grace of God, I am thankful to my G-Mama, my Gammy, my Pops, to all my friends, family, to everybody that is partnered with my company. Thank you for all your belief in me. And thank you to God more than anything, because for the first time ever, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora has proudly been on site, on location for the wild card round of the NFL playoffs, as well as the divisional round for the NFL playoffs. And for the first time ever announcing this, it has not been announced before, and it is being announced right now live on Facebook here with you folks. I will proudly be covering, for the first time ever in Wake Up Call history, the championship round of the NFL playoffs. So I want to thank each and every company that I am more than proud to work with. And let's give them all a shout out right now. And let's get them on here really quick. So I'm going to bring them up so that you could see everybody that I am very proud to work with. We're going to bring them up on the page right here, the live line, this live wire. So of course, this is my website, folks. For those of you, if you haven't been on the site before, this is how we get it done. You see the thing loads directly right here, which I'm going to go through the website, but I want to give a special thanks before I go anywhere to everybody that has believed in this show, believed in my company and what I've gone after and what I've been about, my morals, my values, everything that God has blessed me with and everything that he's given me. I want to give a special thank you to each and every one of these companies, to Carvel DeWitt, as well as Dry Sig Apparel, Dry Sig Lady, Giovanni's Tuxedos, Market Diner, the Wildcat Sports Pub, Utica Pizza Company, Lee's and Staggerwall Downtown, Muddy Waters, Sammy Malone's, the Penn and Trophy Center, Honda City of Liverpool, LJ Papaleo, licensed real estate salesperson for commercial and personal property, as well as buying and selling commercially, as well as buying land or selling land. Looking Glass Events, event planning company, 315 Chiropractic and Wellness Center, and fanhands.com. I want to thank each and every one of you for your support and your belief in me. It has gone such a long way, and it has meant so much to be doing this broadcast, which was the Dan Tortora Show. Before, I was just kind of doing stuff in college. Then it became the Dan Tortora Show. Then it became what it is today, which is Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. And to be in a position where every single year I watch the NFL playoffs, it doesn't matter who's playing, I watch. To be on site for the wild card round, the divisional round, and now the upcoming championship round, I'm elated and I'm proud and I'm thankful to God. And with all that being said, I want to thank my team, because anything I do and any success I have, I bring my team with me. And so when you become a part of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, it's not a sponsorship, it's a partnership. It's a partnership because we work together. It's a partnership because we celebrate each other's successes. So I celebrate this announcement with each and every single one of you. On the website, to start here on the top, there's a ticker. This ticker is a code that I manipulated to have all of my information. This information will change sometimes daily, weekly, monthly, definitely yearly. You'll see a change up here. And then as we go down, you can listen right here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on the live feed. The live feed is embedded on wakeupcalldt.com's homepage. So for this week, you see what dates it's going to be live, so you can look at all this, and that'll take you, and it'll give you all the information that you need to know when the show is going to be live and how you can listen in. It gives you the information here, and then this will load by itself when the show is live. This will load on its own, and it'll start playing automatically. And then under this, you can get every single broadcast of Wake Up Call by going to wakeupcalldt.com, and right here on the homepage, you'll see the RSS feed, which you can click on, the Wake Up Call show app on Podbean, and the iTunes podcast. So if you click on any one of these, they will bring you to that page specifically. So it'll bring you to the RSS feed, or it'll bring you to the app, or it'll bring you to iTunes to download it however you want to do it. It is free to download, and there's over 815 shows on there, dating all the way back to July of 2012. For total access to wakeupcalldt.com, it is free. You log in right here, or you can subscribe. If you subscribe and fill out all your information and click subscribe, that will connect you to everything that's going on. So when I add things to the webpage, you'll be emailed and say, hey, check out what Dan Tortora just added, or wakeupcalldt.com just uploaded this. Obviously, the Central New York supporters support our community by supporting our local businesses. Clicking on any of these logos will bring you to the individual businesses' pages. And then what's happening loads the last 10 shows that I put on here. So if you take a look through here, National Signing Day specials with Lakeem Williams, Anthony Quealy, Cameron Jonas, so on and so forth. We have the divisional round and fantasy football advice. So you can click right here on it. And when you do that, it'll play for you. And you can also go to a different show, and that'll load. It'll load the last 10 shows. And if you're playing it and then you pause it, you'll see a thing come up that you can download the app. And then quick links to sports content are here too. So my main page is if you want to get straight to Syracuse football, Syracuse basketball, fantasy football advice, the American Athletic, the Jacksonville Jaguars, or ACC, you can click on any of these. It'll take you there. And then my live events in the community. Every Tuesday, we have trivia at Sammy Malone's. Every Thursday, we have game show night at Muddy Waters. They're both located in Baldwinsville. Sammy Malone's above Muddy Waters. And we do our live pregame show 2 hours before tip-off for Syracuse men's basketball home games at Lee's and Staggerwald. So you can click on that and get more information. And then you have our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube links below. And, of course, the tagline for the company, where sports meets life. So just wanted to show you the page really quick. But this page on the Prowl will take you directly to my Jacksonville Jaguars coverage. On the Prowl has been a signature segment of the show for years, and we're doing it more so now than we ever have. You can read the articles right here. If you click on one of the articles, it'll take you straight to the page, and you'll be able to see everything you need to see there. You can also look at all the different articles we have here to read. And then the interviews that I do with the players, it'll tell you what show has what. You can play it straight from here. And you can listen into my interviews with the players. And then down here we have a video that we did about the Jaguars going into the playoffs. And then up here I upload all of the players' pictures that are on the broadcast for each season. So these are the Jaguars that are featured this season that you can hear interviews from, to name a few, and I have to add some more up there. So speaking on the NFL playoffs, there's plenty for you to do. You could go to the Right Now page, and you can read articles here as well, like the one that I wrote about the Steelers wanting the Jaguars. Now the Pats have them. It'll take you to this, and you can scroll through and read it. Like any online newspaper, you can click that you like it, and you can share it to a bunch of different places. So just to show you some things here on how to connect with Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, which I am more than proud to say for this season, for the first time ever, I've had the opportunity to cover Not just the wild card, not just the divisional, but now the championship round of the playoffs, which I'm ecstatic about doing, and I'm so thankful for it. And yes, I said playoffs. One of my favorite quotes that you will ever find in the world of sports. And let's see if we can pick it up here and you can listen in.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
That coming from Jim Mora, that special line that's kind of been with him forever. And we are talking about playoffs. We're talking about the Jaguars, the Patriots, the Vikings, and the Eagles. And these teams, this is my Final Four. This is who I've chosen to get there. And I am choosing the top two, which is why I put them in this position. I have chosen the Jaguars and the Vikings. I chose them before this. I chose them before the divisional round games. The Jaguars facing the Vikings in the Super Bowl in Minnesota, who would be playing a home game as the away team, potentially, ironically. So a little bit crazy here. But, for me, the Jaguars, I've been getting asked questions, and I got asked a question. I'm going to give a shout-out to Kip Wellman, who works on the staff of Syracuse Orange men's basketball. He said, does Jacksonville have any type of chance? He said, they don't have a chance, do they? They got nothing, right? They don't have a chance. They absolutely have a chance, and I told him that. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a chance in this game because of their defense, because of Malik Jackson and Calais Campbell, A.J. Boye, Jalen Ramsey, Miles Jack, Paul Posluszny, Telvin Smith, Dante Fowler Jr., Avery Jones, Marcel Darius, and the list, Barry Church, Tayshaun Gibson, if he's able to play. Tayshaun, pardon me. So this defense has a lot to offer. And we've seen defenses win Super Bowls with not the greatest quarterback at the time. Peyton Manning's a phenomenal quarterback historically. But Peyton Manning, when he won the Super Bowl in 2016 with, this is the crazy thing about it, when he won it in 2016 with Malik Jackson, who's now a Jaguar, and became a Jaguar right after he won that Super Bowl, Peyton was relying more on the defense. And so when you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars next to the Minnesota Vikings, you're looking at the two best defenses in the country. Do I believe that Jacksonville can hurry Tom Brady? Yes. Do I think they can sack Tom Brady? Yes. Do I think that they can get a fumble and return it? Yes. Do I think that they can cover well? Yes. In that respect, on the other side of things, looking at the offense of the New England Patriots, Tom Brady's Tom Brady. And Rob Gronkowski, it looked like a tiny child was trying to cover him when the Titans were up against him. I don't know if you can slow down Rob Gronkowski. I don't know if you can stop Rob Gronkowski. I don't know if there's literally any. I mean, Doug Marrone said when he was asked, how do you stop him? He said, I don't know, have him not catch the ball, have him drop a pass, have them not throw his way and hope that he doesn't catch it. He's like, how do you stop him? You can't, necessarily. So you got to be vivacious and tenacious. The ishes, words I like to use for you. You got to be those things because Miles Jack, Paul Posluszny, they all got to get with it. Telvin Smith, everybody's got to, they got to knock him down. They got to hit him hard. They got to let him know that they're there because he's a huge-bodied guy. He loves the opportunity of you thinking you can take him down, and he'll laugh in your face. So Jacksonville has to do everything they can do in the middle of the field to stop that pass over the middle and to stop that opportunity when he goes out wide to make sure that somebody is spying on him. As far as James White, your check-down guy and a guy that they trust so much, trusted him to win the Super Bowl, and he did. Trusted him in the game against Tennessee, and he was huge in that game. So you have to look at the film and know that you got to key in on these guys. You got to try and silence. Dion Lewis is going to bring it in the backfield. James White is going to bring it in that catching game and in the backfield at times. You're going to get Danny Amendola and company as well as Rob Gronkowski that are going to get out there and make it happen. I don't think you're going to stop the Patriots offensively, but to slow them down. Jacksonville has been that team that doesn't let you score in the first quarter. That would be a great part of this game. Take a quarter out. Make the Patriots play with 3 quarters while Jacksonville's playing with 4. So this defense has the tallest task they've ever had this entire season, but they're in a place where I believe that they have the personnel and they have the ability, more so than they ever did, to be effective. They allow the least amount of yardage passing-wise per game, and they're going up against Tom Brady. That's huge. They're second in, they're in the top 2 with Minnesota in points allowed per game. They have been, rushing yards, they'll allow a little bit more there, but defensively in total yards per game, passing yards per game, points per game, all of those are huge. Turnover margin plus 10 when they were going into the divisional round against the Steelers. So the Jaguars have a lot defensively. Now, I want to talk about Blake Bortles because Blake doesn't get a lot of the respect that he deserves. Blake Bortles is that guy that people didn't want on the team anymore. I had to deal with it last year. I'm in Everbank Field. I'm out on Twitter. I'm typing my stuff, my in-game updates and thoughts. And Blake Bortles was trending, and it was negative. There's a bunch of negatives. Get him off the team. They say that people have heckled him in the NFL, that players that have gone against him have heckled him, or just, talking about Blake have heckled him and his abilities. So for the man to get to where he is right now, being heckled by his peers in the NFL, by people online, and this, that, and the other, he's no different than you and I, okay? He gets heckled on social media, and he's found a way to live through it, to live past it, and if anything, he's a role model for me, and he's a role model for you of doing something like that. His teammates told me he's never too high, he's never too low. They said, Danny could throw an interception, he could throw a 70-yard touchdown. His facial expression is exactly the same. And that says something big about the man. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Leonard Fournette, the big power back that they needed, which could get TJ Yeldon out from between the tackles and give him the opportunity to catch the ball out of the backfield, which I said last year was his strength, which he did very well against Pittsburgh. And then to open up the game where you can fake that run because they're going to respect it and they're going to spy on Leonard Fournette. So you got Tommy Bohannon, and you have Mercedes Lewis, and you have James O'Shaughnessy. So you have options out there, fullback at tight end as well. Alan Hearns is back. Marquise Lee has been fighting to be on the field. Keelan Cole and Jadon Mickens, Dede Westbrook. This team is not supposed to be where they are, yet they're here. So you can continue to think that Jacksonville is a nobody, that Jacksonville doesn't deserve it. There was just a thing I saw online that the Patriots have the easiest road to the Super Bowl, the easiest road to whatever, championship and whatnot. And I don't care, and you shouldn't either, because these Jacksonville Jaguars, they would love for you to underestimate them. They would love for you to think less of them because it puts them in a great place. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, with guys like Corey Grant and a healthy Jadon Mickens, very dangerous in the punt and kick return game, as well as the fake punt and trick plays. So I think this Jacksonville team has a lot. I think Blake is more talented than people give him credit for. I mean, I'm not hearing anybody talk about what he did in the game against the Steelers. He didn't throw an interception. He fumbled once, but it was recovered, thankfully, by his offensive line. They kept him upright. He didn't get sacked. He ran for first downs. So we're talking about Tom Brady. But what about Blake Bortles? What about what he did? What about the fact that he helped lead the team to a score in the first half that was almost what the entire Patriots did in the whole game against the Titans? The Patriots' end score of 35-14. Jacksonville was 28-7 early in the game. So for me to look at things like that, if you want to go toe-to-toe with offenses, yeah, Tom Brady is going to get the nod over Blake Bortles head-to-head. And, I give Leonard Fournette the nod over Deion Lewis or James White. James White the nod catching out of the backfield over TJ Yeldon, but Yeldon's gotten better. Rob Gronkowski over the tight ends of Jacksonville, but they got a bunch of wide receivers that are involved. So in all honesty, we can go back and forth with everything, but at the end of the day, Jacksonville's earned the right to be here. They've earned the right to be the team that's facing the Patriots, and they have been able to be a chameleon. They win a game 10-3 in the wild card round against the Buffalo Bills, then win 45-42 in the divisional round. So the question mark of the championship round is, what are they going to look like? What's going to happen? And how are they going to play? And in all honesty, we don't know the answer to that. But what I do know is they're going to be exciting. They're going to be fun. They're going to be interesting. And they're going to put up a fight. Malik Jackson wants you to think that he's a nobody. So does Telvin Smith. So does Miles Jack. So does Jalen Ramsey. Because all people want to talk about is the Patriots, the Patriots, the Patriots, the Patriots, the Patriots. How are the Patriots going to win another Super Bowl? The Patriots are going to find another way. The Patriots are going to send off Josh McDaniels in a swan song. The Patriots are going to do this. The Patriots are going to do that. Matt Patricia is going to feel so good because he was a part of this before he this. And Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and yada, 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 yada. People want to talk about the Patriots. I want to talk about these 4 teams, not just one of them. I want to talk about the Vikings and how they've had a never-say-die approach with their third-string quarterback. I want to talk about the Eagles, who had a never-say-die approach with the guy that used to be their starter that was let off the team, that was brought back when Doug Peterson took over and a new coaching staff was here. I want to talk about the Jaguars' Blake Bortles, this guy who was supposedly hated and terrible and didn't belong, and now he's playing up against the Patriots with the right and the opportunity to get to the first Super Bowl ever for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I want to talk about all that. I want to talk about my Final Four being intact, the fact that I saw Minnesota and Jacksonville doing enough. I saw Philadelphia at least winning that game, and I saw the Patriots obviously defeating the Tennessee Titans. So when you look at this Final Four, it's so much more than just Tom Brady. Minnesota, next to Jacksonville, has the best defense in the country. And that's a beautiful thing about this, is that Minnesota has Stephon Diggs and Kyle Rudolph and Latavius Murray and Adam Thielen and Case Keenum playing well. And on top of all of that, they got this pretty damn good defense. Then you look at Philadelphia, and what can Philadelphia do that makes them special? What makes them different? Well, Nick Foles, he has to manage a game because the talent is going to be there. The talent is going to allow you to move the ball if you can do what you need to do offensively, right? Keep your accuracy, get after it. Jay Ajayi, Corey Clement, LeGarrette Blount, all these guys, this entire staff of people, Zach Ertz catching the ball for you. You have these talented, Alshon Jeffrey, talented players that are out there waiting for an opportunity. And Philadelphia, yeah, it would be nice for them to have Carson Wentz. I still think Minnesota could beat them. But this is where we are right now. Minnesota's defense has held them and pushed them. And they have a ton of talent on offense. Philadelphia's talent has pushed them and kept them in this thing without Carson Wentz. The Patriots have done what they needed to do to get by, but they have been punched in the mouth this season. Jacksonville was 3-13 last year. They were given no credits, no hope, no nothing. People said Jacksonville? Yeah, okay, Dan. Jacksonville. Yeah, all right. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is your home for Jacksonville Jaguars and overall NFL coverage. And thanks to the Jaguars organization, to the NFL, to hard work and determination, to a phenomenal support system, to whatever God put in me, and most of all, to God himself. I'm proud to say that we have covered the wild card round for Wake Up Call, the divisional round, and I will be on site, on hand, at the AFC Championship game at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts, when the Jaguars take on the Patriots. Now, the Jags have been to, this will be their third AFC Championship game. The last two were under Tom Coughlin. Guess what? Tommy's back, and they're back in the AFC Championship game. The only person that's really figured out how to beat Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, and the Patriots, Tom Coughlin, and he's on the staff of the Jaguars. He's in the building. He's had blueprints before. Guess what? He's there now. Jacksonville was bumped out of the AFC Championship game in the 90s by the Titans and by the Patriots. So, they're looking for vindication, which I think they've got. They're looking for redemption, which they're still fighting for. They're fighting for respect, but they don't really care if you give it to them or not. Because if you don't give it to them, they're going to smack you in the mouth. And if you do give it to them, they're going to smack you in the mouth. So, Jacksonville has made this so interesting for me. I've covered this team on site, on location, in some respect for 9 years, almost a decade. And I have the opportunity to move forward with this team into the AFC Championship game. And maybe, just maybe, get a double, maybe, just maybe, the Super Bowl. Maybe, just maybe, we'll have the opportunity to get there. And I have to say that, and hopefully I could bring this up for you right now. is I want to share something with you, and I don't know if I have the right picture here to be able to show you. I'm going to look for it for a second, but I might not have it. And if I don't have it, that's okay. But there's a picture of my grandmother who passed on in June of 2017, June 24th. And I love all my grandparents. I love my parents. I love Kate's parents, my wife. And I love Papa Joe and Mary. They've been another set of parents for me too. And this lady, she raised me. And I love her so much. She is wearing a Jaguars finger in one of the pictures I have. She's wearing a Jaguars finger and has a purple shirt on. So I was like, well, a couple weeks ago or so, I called Jaguars Vikings. And apparently my grandmother called Jaguars Vikings, but a lot sooner than I did. So if they make it, we'll both be right. But she gets all the credit for it because she got it first. And I'm so proud of her and appreciate her so much. And I thank her for watching over me and for all the beauty and all the amazement and all the crazy things that have happened since she's passed on. She seems to be throwing gifts down all the time. God's been letting her throw some here, there, and everywhere, as she always did. And I thank her for that. And I appreciate that. As my Final Four remains intact, and I'm picking the Jaguars against the Vikings in the Super Bowl. Patriots are going to be a tough out. Jacksonville's got to play damn near perfect football to win this game. But when push comes to shove, this Jacksonville Jaguars defense in all three lines is not an easy out. And if Aaron Colvin, Barry Church, Tayshaun Gibson, Jalen Ramsey, A.J. Boye, if they can play better than they did against the Steelers, if Miles Jack, Talvin Smith, and Paul Posluszny can let Rob Gronkowski know that they're in the building too, and this defensive line can attack and hurry and get after Tom Brady and force him to run a little bit, which he doesn't do, and force him to get hurried and to get uncomfortable, that's how you beat them. Jacksonville, the last time they played the Patriots in the playoffs, they got to the Patriots in the first half. And Tom Brady didn't look that great, didn't look 100% Tom Brady. In the second half, they didn't get there, and they lost the game. You got to attack early, you got to attack often, and you have to attack systematically throughout the game. I have been overly impressed by the Jaguars. And no matter how close the Steelers got, there was a notion that Jacksonville was not going to let it get away. This team needs to focus and be determined. Forget about what Jalen Ramsey said. He's got to go to work just like everybody else. And I believe Jacksonville can pull it off, as do I with Minnesota. I think Philadelphia has done some good things, but Minnesota, even if they were playing against Carson Wentz, I think their defense is too much, and I just feel like they're going to be the team. They're going to be hosting at home, right? And the Patriots, they made enough Super Bowls, and they've done a lot, and a lot of good things have happened with this team. And yeah, they might think in the back of their heads, nobody's going to beat us. They might think, wow, Jacksonville? Really? But let them think that. As I believe the Super Bowl will reside in Minnesota, featuring these two teams. We shall see what we shall see, but let it be known that this is my prediction, and I am sticking by it, for better or worse. You know I'm a man of my word. And I want to just say once again, for all of you that followed my coverage of the Jaguars this season and in the past, thank you, and my NFL coverage and fantasy football coverage on wakeupcalldt.com, thank you, and on Facebook at wakeupcalldt, and on Twitter at calldt. Thank you to God and to the Jaguars organization for allowing me to cover the wild card round of the playoffs. Thank you to the Jaguars and to God and the NFL for the divisional round and being able to go from Jacksonville up to Pittsburgh for the first time ever. And thank you to Jacksonville, the NFL, and to God for being able to be at Gillette Stadium for the first time ever in Foxborough with the AFC Championship and the final step before the Super Bowl. That is my prediction. This is where you can find all the information on wakeupcalldt.com. And more than anything, thank you to my family and to this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful person, role model, and my other mom. Have a great day, folks. God bless you. And remember, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is your home for Jacksonville Jaguars coverage entitled On the Prowl, and for your overall NFL coverage, including fantasy football daily and league play all throughout the year. God bless you. Thank you. And a big shout out and a big thank you really quick here. If I can go back just for a second, if you will allow me the second to do this. If I can go back here and say a big thank you to every single one of my partners that I'm proud to be working with. Thank you so much. God bless you. Have a great day. And if you want to join the Wake Up Call family, you know what to do. Find me on Facebook at Wake Up Call DT, Twitter at Call DT, and you can also email the show, dtstays@gmail.com. In the meantime, God bless you. Be well. Have a phenomenal, phenomenal continuation in the NFL playoffs. And make sure you're with me on wakeupcalldt.com and Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt for the live broadcast. Take care, folks. God bless you. Peace.